And we spoke about the back four, Liverpool today. They maybe were the weakness, but the likes of Milner had Foden in his pocket. Really, the whole game he was brilliant. Milner at the back, so frustrating. Thinks that he can play better, definitely. So just. As Michael says, it's good for the Premier League, but not good from a Man City point of view.
Well, today we've had in the Premier League, perhaps not all the goals you might expect, so many subplot stories, VAR interventions, which we'll round up later in the show. Chelsea, 9 points out of 9 under Graham Potter in the Premier League, winning 2-0 at Aston Villa. Their 4-match unbeaten run is over. Arsenal, for the first time in their top-flight history, have won their first 9 of 10 games. Leeds beaten for the first time at home this season. No goals between Manchester United and Newcastle. Newcastle's first point at Old Trafford in 7 years. A point apiece between Southampton and West Ham at St Mary's. And Mo Salah's goal giving Liverpool all 3 points against the champions, Manchester City. So that nudges Liverpool into the top half, the top 8 in fact, looking at 13 points from their 9 played. As I say, they are now 10 behind Manchester City, who are 4 behind the leaders Arsenal. Chelsea have a 3-point gap now in that final Champions League place. Manchester United 5th, Newcastle 6th. At the bottom, Southampton needed to win to get out of the relegation zone. Their point nudges them up to 8, 1 behind Wolves, who stay level on points with Villa, and Leeds, who were both beaten today.
What sort of result is that, and what did it take to get it?
It takes a lot. Good to get 3 points. I think it was always going to be very intense. That's what's always been happening over the last years, and it was nothing different today. Obviously, first half I think we played quite well, didn't give much away. I don't think we created too much either, but second half we had to defend a bit more, and we had a chance on the break to even score more. But we won, and that's the most important.
Be honest, how intense was it? It looked like blood and thunder out there.
It is. For both sides. It's a lot of running, a lot of communication, and it was who wants it more. And obviously, I think today we showed a lot of fight.
Do you go along with that, Mo? Was a lot of your performance today about guts and about character, especially the situation you're in against a side that good?
Well, this side is always hard for us also to play home or away because they always dominate the game. They try to keep the ball as long as they can, but I think the most important thing for us, and we have to take from there just 3 points, and we need to carry on because our position in the league is not the best. So it's just one game, and just need to carry on.
You say it's just one game, isn't it more than that though? To be the first team to beat Manchester City this season, a big 3 points against them. Surely it's more than that.
Hopefully give us more confidence, so we should just start winning games because it's like the last few weeks, as you saw, we were not in our best. So we started already from last game, and this game as well we won. So we just need to carry on.
You got the goal. We started to think it wasn't going to come because you had a couple of chances just before. Made a great save, the keeper, but then you did it.
Well, I'm not worried when there's a chances, to be fair. Like, if I miss, it's fine. I'm just like, in my mind, like, it's going to come again. I start to worry more when there's no chances for me, but today we created chances. You can see when I missed the first one, I was like calm because I knew that the second one is going to come. So, yeah, I managed to score the second one and we won the game.
Clear up one thing. Was it an error? Because you thought you were going off, and then did you say to Jurgen Klopp, I'm not going off, or did he say, oh, no, you're not supposed to be going off, that's a mistake?
I don't know, it's just in my head, it was too many things in that time. I'm just trying to stay focused and just like, okay, just try to put it in the net because the first one I missed, but yeah, I was lucky.
Virgil, Mo did the business at the other end, but how much did you literally, as a team, have to defend for your lives today?
That's what you have to do every game, and I think obviously today if you drop off a slight percentage, then obviously they will punish you, and I think we did very well, and it was important to get the clean sheet and move on. So we'll focus now on West Ham.
Big credit to you as well. You sensed the danger. Erling Haaland stooping to put the ball in the back of that. You just managed to get back and head it over.
Yeah, that's what defenders have to do apparently. So I tried it and I was there, and good that I was there. So yeah, carry on.
Do you feel you grew into the game? There were moments, the little moments to start off with. You had one, Harvey had one as well in the first half that gave you the confidence. And also, how big a factor was the crowd today?
It is. Always like that, and obviously when certain moments happen in the game, it put fuel to the fire a little bit, and in a positive way for us. And I think it started with the hard work we put on the pitch, and that's the minimum what's expected here at this beautiful football club, and we showed that, and that's the energy what we had back today was definitely needed in order to push us forward and keep a hold of the 1-0 advantage, and they played a big part, and that's what we need for the rest of the season, especially when we had a difficult start of the season.
When the manager was asked last week, he said we're out of the title race. That doesn't necessarily put you right back in it, but is that a major step towards it?
No, we're still far away from that. We just need to focus in each game and just take one game in time. We don't have to think about the title at the moment. Of course, we always. Personally, I love to play always for the title. It's in my head. We're gonna fight for it, but just we need to focus more and take one game at a time. We don't have to feel more pressure that there is a still gap between us and the first and the second as well. So, of course, we're going to play for the title. As the players, you can see the team, unbelievable, the club. Everybody here should be in a better position than where we are now. The players are excited to win again, and I think that gives us a good push for the next games.
Fabulous stuff. Well done, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. No goals then at Anfield between Liverpool and Manchester City. In a moment, Michael and Rafa will have some tactical analysis for you. But in the first instance, Shay, what have you made of that first 45 minutes?
Yeah, it's quite close, Steve. I don't think there's any really pushing for a goal. Haaland's probably look at his chances, the best chances of the game, but it's been quite tight, quite nervy, I think, the first half. Yeah,
Haaland, 20 goals so far this season. 15 of them have come in the Premier League, and perhaps even by his high standards, could he have done better in that first half?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, he's slipped down the side here, and I think Alisson actually is in fact no man's land here, the goalkeeper, and he's got a bit lucky. I think Haaland's seen him in the corner off his line, tried to chip him, but I think if he goes hard and low there, I think he gives himself a better chance. But again, a great run from Haaland down the side of the centre half. And again, as we mentioned, the free chance. This header, he kind of gets his bearings wrong a bit. He seems to be sort of heading it in the way up, and it doesn't seem to sort his feet out, if I'm being honest. But
I think that might want to have been looked at VAR anyway.
Okay, but it's half a chance for a man of him. We say he doesn't need many chances, but this is probably the chance of the game. We talk about the De Bruyne ball for the Man United goal. That's very similar. Obviously, this time it's in the air, and again, it's just straight at Alisson. It's an easy save in the end, but if he can actually head it back where it came from, then it'd be a big chance. But you can see him getting a wee bit frustrated with the little chances he's had.
Absolutely. So let's go to Michael and Rafa then. Interesting tactical lineup today, Michael.
Absolutely, Steve. We're really I don't say surprised at the start, but when Manchester City first lined up, we thought, wow, there we go. There's a tactical something to spot straight away. Back three they played. Were you surprised with the back three, Rafa?
Yeah, I think I saw them playing with back three against Liverpool in the past, but I was not expecting today. I think nobody was expecting that. But it's a good decision in terms of what he's looking for, no?
Why a back three? What do you think he is looking for?
Clearly, he's taking a risk in defence because it's 3 against 3 sometimes. But in the wide areas, he has the wing backs, and with Gundogan and De Bruyne between the lines, he creates doubts to the full backs, and he can create superiority in the wide areas.
Well, let's have a look at some of that superiority. We see situations like this. In this situation, where we have Milner trying to contain the likes of Gundogan and I think it's Foden out there, and then this side, the one that we highlighted before the game, doubling up when the switch of play occurs as well. In this situation, I think De Bruyne actually makes a run inside there. Normally comes into this little pocket here, but he makes a run. He actually pins Andy Robertson, which gives Cancelo the opportunity to go and cross the ball. Comes to nothing in the end, but later on in the half, as we saw, some better chances. Now, Rafa, in this next situation, Haaland's first real chance, I find this. In fact, I'm going to pause it straight away because this is quite an interesting one, and this is where Manchester City tactically are outdoing Liverpool, we feel.
Yeah, when you play 5, in this case the 3 plus the 2 wing backs. In this case, the fullback Milner has doubts to go because Gundogan is between the lines. So if he goes, there's a big gap there. If he doesn't go, it will happen. They receive and they play 2v1, and after they can run in behind.
Well, let's have a look how Gundogan does get that ball. Foden turns, and that's the gap that's. Then everybody's in trouble. Haaland gets running, and there's, as Shay said, goalkeeper probably pulls him out of trouble, fortunately there. But that was the first warning shot, and then the last Haaland chance that Shay's just touched on. This was again an interesting passage of play. Again, in this situation, down at the bottom of the screen, we've got all this outnumbering for the switch of play, and it eventually comes out here. You see Kevin De Bruyne in his natural position. That's where they've been trying to get him, and again, as Shay says, that ball that he'd played against Manchester United nearly came off again. And just to have a look at the average formation, Rafa, in that first half, that goes to show it really is a back three.
Yeah, they have a lot of people in the middle trying to create superiority and also committing the Liverpool midfielders. And then they have in the wide areas the space and the three at the back that we have seen before.
Steve, an interesting game so far. We do think that Manchester City have got the tactical edge going into this second half.
Very interesting, gentlemen. Thank you very much indeed. We'll all be back with the second half